cruciferous vegetables and how to enjoy them. Hello everyone, Michaela here. If you do not believe that I love vegetables, then look at the contents of my refrigerator that I decided to arrange here for you. And as you can see, I have cauliflower, red cabbage, tatsoi, broccoli, bok choy, Brussels sprouts, napa cabbage, ordinary cabbage, spinach, and kale. Quite a variety of veggies, right? But there is one thing that connects them, and it is that they all belong to the cruciferous family, which produces vegetables that are typical for the winter here in Japan. They are extremely healthy. I will talk a little bit about that in a moment, but most of all, how do we enjoy them? Hi, I am Michaela. If you're new to my channel, I love good food. I also love cooking. Actually, in my family, everybody likes to cook, but I am the one who is also passionate about health and well-being. So the recipes that I use and the recipes that I share on my channel, List, are of food that is low carb, anti-inflammatory, that is meant to support your health and also to enhance your general state of well-being so that you feel good in your body, you have energy, you have vigor to go out and enjoy your life no matter what your age is. If you are a returning visitor, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. With this said, let's return to our topic, cruciferous vegetables and how we enjoy them. One thing that I would like to say before I share my favorite recipes is why it is so important that we eat cruciferous vegetables, that we try to incorporate them in our diet. All of them, without an exception, are very rich in vitamin C, and we know how important vitamin C is in maintaining a good state of our immune system and other functions of the body. Another thing is that cruciferous vegetables, they're also rich in some other very important vitamins, like for example vitamin K, which is essential for the proper absorption of calcium in the bones and in the cells. So if you want to have healthy cells, then eat cruciferous vegetables and get your dose of vitamin K. Something else, many of the cruciferous vegetables, they have a very fair amount of vitamins from the B group. Some of them, they have a good amount of beta carotenes. Some of them, they also have a good amount of vitamin E. So all of them, without an exception, are extremely beneficial to your health. Not only that, but they're also a pretty good source of macro and micronutrients, meaning minerals like magnesium or manganese, copper, calcium, potassium, all this good stuff that you need for your body to be healthy. So hopefully that now I have convinced you that you should have your cruciferous vegetables. Let's talk about how do we enjoy them. So we make dishes with them that are not only healthy but also delicious, so we do not push them towards the end of the plate like some kids do. And where do I start? I think that I would like to start with my most favorite of all, which is the cauliflower. So cauliflower is extremely versatile in how it can be used. One of my favorite ways to use cauliflower is to make soups with it. For example, on this channel you can find a recipe for a spicy cauliflower Moroccan soup, which is absolutely delicious. It is so rich in flavors, it is warming, it is filling. Give it a try. If you are not very much into spices, but you prefer a more, natural taste, then another thing that you can do is make another cream soup with cauliflower and either collard greens or what else can you use for greens? Spinach also would work great, Swiss chard, excellent, and then add either some onions or some leeks. I prefer leeks because they have a sweeter, more mild taste compared to the onions. Add some bone broth, or if you are a vegetarian, just use vegetable broth. Simmer for a while for the veggies to soften up, then put them in the food processor, buzz them for a minute or so, and you would have the most delicious cream soup. Not only delicious, but also extremely healthy. I like to put some black pepper on top. It is amazing. Just take a look at it. It looks a little green, right? But don't be fooled by the color. It is really good. Another way that I love cooking cauliflower is roasting it. And again, because it's a vegetable that does not have its own flavor, it really takes very well any flavor that you add to it. So if you like spices, you can add cumin, for example, and have a little bit of an exotic taste. Or what I love doing is I love seasoning my cauliflower. I break it into florets and then I season with salt and black pepper, and I use a lot of Italian herbs. Drizzle some olive oil, mix well, put in the oven over there, roast for about 20 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. It is absolutely amazing. And I usually like to combine other veggies with the cauliflower. For example, I would also use Romanesco, an excellent vegetable that is related to the broccoli, but not quite some. This is how it looks. It's absolutely amazing. It is a living representation of the golden spiral. Very delicious. I also like to add to my roasting pan red cabbage. That goes so well with Italian herbs as well. Cabbage in general, you can roast. I know that people, they usually eat red cabbage in a salad, but roasted, it is so sweet, so good. Give it a try. Take a look what I do. So here are the veggies that I'm roasting today. Here I have some Romanesco, then some red cabbage, and of course some cauliflower. And I threw a few portobello mushrooms there as well. And all that I have done was season them with olive oil and salt, pepper, and a profusion of herbs. I'll show you what they look like once they are out of the oven. Okay, so here they are, all nicely roasted. As you can see, neither the Romanesco or the cauliflower are really charred. I tried to keep the temperature low, and the only charring that you can see is at the red cabbage, but that's okay. They smell fantastic. Just this combination of herbs and roasted vegetables is delicious. What I want to talk about next is kale. Oh yes, of course, you can make a cream soup with kale and cauliflower. That would be just fantastic, really good. But I like to use kale not only in salads, but I also make kale chips. So I stay away from potato chips for so many reasons. First of all, because the potatoes, they're an inflammatory food. They belong to the nightshade family. Then you never know what kind of, fat, that oil, whatever it is they were, fried with. So I like to make my own chips with kale. How do I do it? Take a look. What do I do with my kale? What I like to do is, first of all, I like to cut off the thicker part of the stem. or sometimes I take the whole stem off and I just keep the leaves. Then I add some salt. Here you can see some crushed garlic and olive oil, and I gently massage it so the olive oil will kind of, you know, coat it evenly. Once I have done that, then I'll just put it on a roasting pan and roast it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 200 degrees. It's delicious. And here it is, ready to go in the oven. By the way, do not worry if you see that your kale is kind of filling up your pan completely. You will see that when you roast it, the volume will go down dramatically. And here is my kale, fresh from the oven again. And as you can see, it's charred at some places, but that's fine. It's very nice and crispy. It's absolutely addictive. Who wants to eat potato chips when you can have something this good and healthy on the top of it? Next, I want to share something that I made with a vegetable that I recently discovered that is called, in Japanese it is tazai, in English it is tatsoi, and it is a cousin of the famous bok choy. It is very sweet in taste. It's not, you know, it does not have this earthiness of the spinach. It works great in stir fries. Just make sure that you separate the stems from the leaves before you cook it, because the stems, they are a little bit thicker. The leaves are more tender, so you do not want to overcook the leaves in order to cook properly the stems. Here I am showing a very simple stir fry that I made with tatsoi, and also with garlic, some mushrooms, and sesame oil. In this case I use sesame oil for flavor. Here, take a look. And we are all done. And I would like also to say a few words about broccoli. Broccoli is one of those vegetables that people have been eating raw a lot recently. At least in the US, very often you see these big, you know, plates with raw vegetables and some dipping sauce, and broccoli is always a part of it. However, broccoli also has some anti-nutrients there, and it's much better, instead of eating it raw, to very lightly steam it. When I say lightly steam it, do not boil it for about a minute. So just very gently steam. And then, if you like olive oil, and if you would like to have some more good fats, you know, to give your body some good fats, then what you can do is, in a little cup, add some good extra virgin olive oil, some salt, some herbs, black pepper, whatever you like, you know, to spice it, and then use the broccoli. Just dip the broccoli in the olive oil and enjoy them. It's just so good, so easy, so simple. It's not overcooked. It is excellent for your body. Next on my list is ordinary cabbage. And of course, there's so many ways to eat cabbage. I think it is one of the most popular winter vegetable around the world. I have found that, to me personally, everybody is different, but for my own self, what I can say is that I prefer eating cabbage when it is cooked rather than when it is raw. Simply my digestion does better. And the way that I cook it, it looks like this. It's again very simple. All that you need to do is chop your cabbage, put olive oil, a generous amount of olive oil on the bottom of your pot, add the cabbage and season with salt and paprika. Cook over low heat. You don't need to cook it for a long time, but you will see that at the beginning your pot would be full like this. But as the cabbage begins to soften, the volume will decrease. So just mix it from time to time. And once it is cooked, add some chopped fresh parsley, stir well. It is absolutely fantastic. If you like pork, you can cook it with thinly sliced pork. It is also very delicious. Next, another fantastic cruciferous the vegetable that I just love, and this is the Brussels sprouts. I know that kids, they hate Brussels sprouts, and I guess that it also depends how you cook them. What I like to do is I like to add them to one pan roasted meal where I combine them with, let's say, carrots and onions, some mushrooms, maybe some sweet potato, which is again excellent for your gut health. And I cut the Brussels sprouts into quarters, and then I roast all that, seasoned with onions, with garlic, with some herbs, add some chicken, roast chicken to that. It makes an excellent meal like this. But it's not needed to always include other vegetables. If you just want to cook a side of Brussels sprouts, what you can do is this. Cut the Brussels sprouts into quarters, put them in a bowl, and then season with salt and crushed garlic, black pepper, and olive oil. Then gently stir. Then put them in your roasting pat and roast them in the oven for about 20 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or until tender. So here are the Brussels sprouts, nicely roasted. I just had to have a bite, and they are so sweet, so delicious. I think that roasting cruciferous vegetables just brings their natural sweetness out. I love it. I am getting towards the end of my video, and I would like to say a few words about spinach. So as I was doing the research on cruciferous vegetables, I found some interesting facts, and I shared them actually in a longer post on the Tummy Bliss Facebook page if you would like to read there more. But basically, in a few words, spinach is not good for people who have problems with blood coagulation and take anticoagulants. It has a lot of vitamin K, which actually may block, the effect of your medicine. But the other thing that is not that good about spinach is that it's very high in oxalates. Oxalates are anti-nutrients. They actually block the good stuff in spinach, because spinach is famous with being rich in calcium and also in iron. So what happens is that the oxalates, they block the absorption of both iron and calcium in the stomach and also the small intestine. So how to avoid that? Don't eat spinach raw. Blanch it. The way that they do it in Japan that I really enjoy and is very simple is they blanch their spinach for about a minute, no more. You don't have to overcook it. Then it's going to become mushy. Once you have blanched the spinach, Then drain it from the hot water and put it in a bowl with very cold water. This will stop the cooking process, and it will also leach some more of the oxalates that are in the spinach, so it is more beneficial to your health. And what do you do next? Just squeeze the moisture out of the spinach, cut it in bite-sized pieces, and then season with ponzu. Ponzu is a mixture of soy sauce and citrus juice. It is extremely refreshing, very delicious, available everywhere in the world, not only in Japan. In the US, it looks like this. Then sprinkle some ponzu on the top of your chopped spinach. Sprinkle also some sesame seeds if you have. It is so good. In Japan we call it ohitashi, and extremely easy to make dish. A great addition to any meal, but especially if you cook something Asian, very healthy. I think that this is what I wanted to share today. I hope that it gave you some ideas on how to cook your cruciferous vegetables. I just want to say that the picture that I took here, I took it on Sunday. Today is Thursday. Most of our veggies are gone. If you cook them in a way that you enjoy eating, you will be helping yourself have more of them. Thank you for joining me today on this video where we are not cooking but talking. And I hope to see you again. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like on YouTube, and if you would like to receive a notification when a new video is posted, please consider subscribing to my channel. I usually post a new video every week. Thank you, and until our next cooking adventure together. Goodbye.